Good morning, everyone. Hello, welcome to the KISS America's AM race here on Zwift Community Live. This is a KRT racer focus where we're going inside the race on the virtual cycling platform Zwift. Glad to have you with us. We got 3 minutes 46 seconds till the start, to be perfectly precise. Today's course, 2 laps of the London Loop. That is a approximately 9-mile lap, 2 of which are up a hill called Box Hill. So on a 2-mile long hill, we're going to see some separation between the riders that can climb and the riders that can't. So we're all getting staged here in the starting pen, ready to be unleashed on the course. Glad to have you with us. Drop a comment. I'm watching the Facebook comments and the Mixer comments today, so be sure to let me know what you think, any openings you see. I'm just going to try to ride within myself and get an even time over both of the climbs, because what often happens in these races and races like them in real life, where you just go really hard, everybody's going on the limit from the very beginning, and what then ends up happening is not everybody can hold that limit as long. Not everybody can do that same level of output for as long, so sometimes you can get dropped and blow up and feel really bad. So then your second hill climb or your second lap or whatever is a really bad time. Daffod over in the Facebook chat, hello. Looks like we're, see if that is just me freezing up or if it is everybody that's going through that. Okay. Okay, there's my cursor. It appears my Chrome has crashed. 1 minute and 42 left. That is typical. That is typical Windows behavior. It is a terrible, terrible thing. Looks like I'm coming through in the right ways. Not really sure what is going on here on my feedback loop, but glad to be with you. Got 1 minute left. I don't really care too much about the comments. Oh, yo, and we'll just, yeah, just a little refresh fixed it. All right, 50 seconds to go. Hey friends, Richard says smash it. We'll try. So the thing about this race is we start through some rollers and we get to the climb very quickly. So Gren is here, so thumbs up. Okay, so yeah, we start through some rollers, and it basically becomes like a 15-minute all-out effort. In a 15-minute all-out effort, if you're on the rivet, you're not going to recover that quickly. So I'm just trying to make those first 15 minutes smart so that I can keep going for the remainder. So here we go. There's some fool on a TT bike, which means he will not be able to draft. TT bikes have an aero bonus, but that's about it. They cannot draft. Oh, Matt Montgomery, what are you doing? We don't want to make it harder, dude. We just want to let the chips fall, or they may. Pretty chill start, to be honest. So I'm using my power up here, hoping to get a new one. Of course I did not, so I was dumb, but that's the way it goes. Gonna be watching Tsunohara Oji-san, Japanese rider. He had a really good finish last week, and he's a heavier guy like me, so I'm gonna try to watch where he's at. Unlike these 65 kilos guys who are just gonna fly up this hill. So power to weight, most important thing here in Zwift, especially on the climbs. So that ratio dictates how fast you go up the bergs. At one time I used to race against Ligtermoet, but the dude is peaking right now, the Aussie rider. Just coming off of their winter season, getting into spring, he's gonna be lighting up the roads down under. So, just to clarify, everyone you see, all these avatars, are real people sitting on bikes like me, and they're broadcasting data into the game, which the physics engine is interpreting. And positioning us on the course. There is a slipstream effect. So as I sit in this bunch, going 29 miles an hour up a 2% grade, 4% as you see in your top right corner of your screen, just getting sucked along by this draft vortex. And you can see there's a single file behind us, those riders playing with fire. As soon as you lose contact, you have to make it up fast. And I'm getting out of position here as we speak. So I am watching the comments here, Mixer and Facebook. We will take a pair of breaks from paying attention to you guys. 2 8-minute paid promotions brought to you by lactic acid. And during those segments, I will not be talking. That's simply because we'll be going up a hill. It's just not very steep, but it's just long enough that my power to weight for 5, 6, 7 minutes is just not on par with what these boys can do. And like I said earlier, going for a nice even split. We want to hit both climbs nice and easy. Hard, but not too hard. All right, so we take this right turn, going up through Whitehall here, or something, going up to that traffic circle. It doesn't go downhill after this uphill, so there's no chance to recover. So you really got to be towards the 4, as we see boys like Gren, Swedish rider on the left, moving up through the bunch. You can see now, rear view, it's a little bit more single file. When you save a little bit of power for the top, because you really got to carry your speed here. Like I said, it doesn't go downhill till right about here. That's where you got to back off a wee bit. Got my teammate Daffod and Jerome in the group. They will be crushing it up the climb. We got Ascenders from Singapore, our friendly rival from PTZ, and he has a teammate as well, and that's the infamous Gren from Sweden. The guy does like 3 or 4 of these a day, which is very hard work. So now you can see there's a clump and then sort of a single file bit. I'm just gonna let these other boys fill in the holes here and not do any surging, because my goal is to hit this base of this climb at as low of a heart rate as possible, but also as far forward in this pack as I can. You saw Froome in the Vuelta using a tactic. They talked about it on the English language broadcast, not Eurosport, not anybody else, but on the one with, I forgot the guy's name, but it was on NBC Sports here in the US on their cycling package. And anyway, the tactic. You start a climb toward the 4, towards the front. And then, as everybody attacks, you just hold one output level and allow yourself to smooth it out, saving your reserves for the finish. And Froome did that and just sort of would get to the front with all 17 Sky guys on his working for him. And then as it went uphill, he just sort of drift back, maybe about 10 wheels, watching that stem. And in that way he was able to conserve power because he wasn't responding to every little movement. So that's what we're going for here. All right. Just about coming into it. Commercial break brought to you by the people of lactic acid. So white line on the road, here it is, boom. Climb has begun. Yo, Brian, Matt's crushing it. He made it to the base with us. I like this group. I'm gonna try to stay with them. Almost there. flat. Another bump coming up. Thanks, Pat. Pat breaks from the UK. My teammate Jerome back in the group. Nice long downhill here. God, my phone's blowing up. Downhill's good, uphill's bad. But what's worse is uphill without a downhill. And that happens when you come up to the top and it's flat. Oh, cycling's a messy sport, excuse that. And if you come to a hill like that, you got to keep the power up. You have to keep your effort up over the top of the hill, which can be tough when everything is telling you to recover. Thanks, Bodegraven, Team PTZ. Oh, we're catching Luckman, apparently. Yeah, there he is. There's the senders. Gonna join in. I mean, these guys were like, okay, everybody has different fitness throughout the year, and Jerome and Luckman were both on peak form around the same time. And now that it's indoor season, we get more guys in the races, so we have like two basically world-class Zwifters in this race. It just makes it really hard for everyone. So now I know the strong wheels to follow on this next climb, but it's going to be really hard for me to keep with them. So again, next climb, don't want to blow up because we only have 2 laps, so we're almost done with lap 1, just about a mile from the banner here. Looks like we're going to catch Ian Wilson from the Wolfpack Taz from Tasmania. One of their teammates just won the Australia E-Crit final, Aaron Dunn. Thanks, Quentin, for that ride on. All right, here's one of those hills that doesn't flatten out. So gear selection is important, and you want to just carry that power over the top. So you can accelerate back up to that race pace on the flat here. Anyway, hey Aaron. Doing my best. We're dropped off like a sack of potatoes at the South Australian border. Because you can't be bringing no veg over. Ain't that right? Yeah, following stuff like the Indy Pack and Race to the Rock and Cycling Maven, I'm really envious of Australian competitive cycling culture. We got to see it on full display this past weekend at the Aussie E-Crit final, which was super close racing right on the rivet. So we got Adrian Bizzari in the group, the Australian. Yeah, Lookman knows he's saying he's putting some power down on the front, which is saying, Ian, I know you're talking. So if I'm talking, that means I'm going too easy. So he wants to make it a little harder. Man, we got some guys in this group that we've been racing over a year now. I don't know what happened to Tsunohari Oji-san. I think he was out of position back on that climb. Lookman just throwing down that zone 3, zone 4. Wants to keep it hot. Lookman might have run his in the Australian race earlier. He's dropping off. We're about to catch 2 more A riders in our group. Lookman calling it a day. That was a hard first lap. They were going up 6 minutes up the climb. So now we just await our fate, as we know that's coming again. Lookman says he did a workout earlier. Pat says, my fitness is definitely up there. Yep, I do weigh 200 pounds, so my weight is also up there. So you might see some big power. It's not like I'm chunky, but I'm 193 centimeters, so I'm pretty tall. So that really hurts me on this course. So yeah, we just do these little rollers along the Thames here on the virtual London course. We got Mr. Brown up ahead, Daffod, 46 seconds up the road. We're not going to catch them. We might catch some stragglers on the climb. But yeah, since I'm sort of punching, I'm not punching above my weight, but I'm fighting above my weight class. What that means on the hills is I'm just not attacking, I'm surviving. And some of these lighter weight guys, you know, my survival pace is their like recovery type pace, their tempo, and they can just ride up that hill and then throw out some venom from time to time. Matt did pretty good. My teammate Peter, asking how Matt's doing. At least I'm talking about Matt Montgomery, not Matt Brewer, our teammate. Matt made it to the base of the first climb with us, so he's probably in some sort of front group. Okay, no more of that. Gotta recover. So, take that left turn, we head on over the, I guess it's the Thames. And then down into the underground, around the traffic circle, and we're on the climb, so it's pretty quick. See that recovery though? It just went from like 170 beats all the way down to 157 in a matter of a minute. That's a good sign. Legs feeling pretty okay. Just trying to stay with this group, which really is just going to require some good positioning because not all these guys have the same legs for this climb. So if you get behind the wrong guy, you can get stuck to them with the sticky draft and then sort of get slid off the back. Like, see right now, this guy in black is kind of letting a gap open, and I'm kind of was stuck behind him, but all right. Drum's got to tap out. He's got an equipment. Mechanical. Which is a-okay with me. Want to be in the first 3 or 4 wheels here as we come towards the finish. The finish of this race is going to be decided in part on this hill. Got some stragglers just ahead on the road. Oh, and I got caught out there on the turn. Thanks everyone for the ride-ons and comments. I really do appreciate it. Our wild card, Anthony Ciano from the Aussie KRT final, joining us. Oh, that was terrible. Sorry, that KRT was great. That climb was bad. You want to keep the chain taut in the downhill. Some guys, those lightweight guys, are still doing like 4 and 5 watts per kilo going down. Can't afford that. And now I'm gapped by about a minute, so I don't think anybody's too close on the chase. Oh. We're off the climb now. One more little junction, important spot before the sprint. We got a quick left, and then another quick right left. Oh dear. And then we are in. I'm gonna change the map here to make sure we don't get caught. Oh, there's a couple bees right behind us. But Jerome's back there. Man, my legs are feeling it. We got one little uphill. This guy's Japanese, so it's kind of lightweight, right? Probably. Sato. So, gotta be ready. He's not giving it too much juice. There he goes. So now, about a mile out from the finish, it's where you really want to protect your heart rate. After doing that 8-minute zone 4, just got to watch out so I can wind it up, because this guy will probably wind it up. I don't want him to gap me and then have me have to punch it to come across and then sit on. This guy might not even think I'm racing him, but he also might know. Jerome's right behind us. This is right about where people usually like to go. I do not want to be in front of him. He's kind of winding a little bit. No, I was just silly. Yeah, now he's going. Oh boy. No contest. Woo! 13th in the A. That's all right. Oh, 13th overall. There you go. Whew. Not bad. Oh. Yeah. It's good though, because past couple races on this course, I really just throw in the beans. Throw in the towel or whatever, I don't know. You give it the beans and then you throw in the towel. There you go, mine is a little scrambled. But usually I'll go pretty hard and then just not even have anything for the second climb. And today I went pretty fruitin' hard up that second climb. I don't know what the average was, but since I weigh 200 pounds, it doesn't matter too much. Average watts, you know, like 380, that's like what Gren is doing, but he weighs like, you know, 150, 165 pounds, something like that. Anyway, pretty happy with that race. Let's check out the power figures. I always like to show this graph at the end these days. So when you click the menu and then you click end ride, you get this nice summary. It says who you rode with, where you went. But it also shows you power over time. And bloody heck, yeah, I don't think I set a new FTP, but my normalized power for this is probably pretty toasty. As you can see here, the 2 hill climbs, so we're looking at a graph of power and heart rate over time. And you can see pretty big zone 6 type stuff, and then it was zone 5 for pretty much the entire first climb, staying with those boys. So maybe the FTP isn't quite set right, because that's a pretty long time for zone 5. It should be a little bit more like this, but again, second climb, similar kind of effort, but I did definitely fade toward the end. And then here's us going over that bump, and then the downhill, followed by the last bump, and then I sprinted a couple times. getting up to 179 beats at the end. Let's see. So I was doing, yeah, this is my best. Way back in the day, I set a 377 over 20 minutes, and that got me a 4 watt per kilo FTP. And because of the rules, because of the way this works, everybody's categorized based on their FTP, functional threshold power, over 1 hour. So that let me make sure you can see all this. Hold on one second. I'm gonna quickly turn off one overlay. There you go. So yeah, it's set by FTP, which is your theoretical power that you can hold for 1 hour. And at one point earlier this season, I did have a 4 watt per kilo FTP, 360 watts. So because of that, I upgraded, because that's what the rules are. And I self-upgraded. Nobody told me to upgrade, and now I'm stuck. I'm in A. But I'm still getting some pretty okay, moderate finishes. I know this aren't the most competitive A races. But what you would find is, as there are more racers, it becomes more competitive, but at the same time, there's other people to ride with. So you're gonna see more little groups on the road, and that's what makes it so much fun. And I had a little group. I tried to stay with them on the second climb, and they just blew me out the water. Was not able to catch on, ended up losing about 30 seconds on that climb. Oh, all of a sudden there's comments on Mixer. Hey guys. Those came out of nowhere. I didn't have anything, and then all of a sudden, ba-bam! So, anyway, pretty happy with that. Glad you all joined me. We'll be back later today with some KISS EU action. That's going to be Nathan's commentary for the KISS Europe race. Huge fields in that. They're going to be doing a slightly different course, the Greater London Loop. Really excited to see that. I don't think we've raced that one in KISS yet, so pretty glad to see that one. That one does also involve the hill, but it also involves some flat roads as well. So some chances for maybe some of the lighter guys to make moves on the hill. And then the bigger guys just riding within themselves and then trying to bridge gaps and catch those smaller groups up the road as we come into the flat sections. So that should be a lot of fun to watch. That's going to do it for me though from here at the Pain Cave, and we will be back on Thursday at 6 a.m. Excited for our last race of September. New course schedule coming out soon. We're really excited for what is to come in October here in the KISS Racing Series. And that's it from me, Ian Anderson, signing out. Everybody have a good ride. And if not, ride on.